Now, I didn't plan to review Sea of Thieves out here in the desert, but here we are. It's beautiful in Phoenix, Arizona, but I have been trapped in my game cave playing a ton of Sea of Thieves. This is, of course, the Xbox exclusive and PC exclusive from Microsoft, developed by Rare, and it's all about being a pirate. It's been hotly anticipated for a long time because we have a lot of expectations on the quality that Rare is capable of. And Rare has kind of been trying to find its way, it feels like, over the last couple of console generations. And this looked like it may be a return to form for this vaunted game development studio. And I have to say that as much as the launch of the game has been plagued with some issues, I still find this game to be absolutely endearing and wonderful for a couple of reasons. But we can't discredit these launch issues, though, because Microsoft has been touting this game as one of their most important products for 2018. Of course, we've been waiting a long time for this. I have been a little skeptical of it, too, ever since it was kind of first unveiled at E3. I thought, where is the gameplay going to be? It's going to be difficult to kind of get a whole bunch of people together and play through this, cooperative experience on a regular basis, and I just didn't know if they were going to kind of pull all of these pieces together to make it super, super fun. And I think they have, but there are definitely some issues, and one of the biggest ones is how the game kind of starts you off and doesn't tell you anything. You just basically land, at least I did. I don't know if this is going to be the same for everybody that boots this game up, but I'm on this outpost island, and I'm off to my own devices to figure out how to put a costume on and equip myself with the equipment that I'm going to need for my voyages and get the maps that I'm going to need for those specific voyages, and they don't really tell you anything. And so you're kind of wandering around from hut or bar or shop, and you're talking to these characters that are just sort of stuck in place, and they don't really guide you anywhere. There's nothing on the screen that says go here or talk to these people. And if you've joined with other people right at the beginning, you're like, okay, where do I go? Where are you? What's happening? Can you wave your arms? Where are you on this island? I'm running around trying to find you. I don't know what to do. And I feel like that's kind of the core experience when you start Sea of Thieves. It's like a lot of fumbling and bumbling, and it's comical and it's fun. And I went through it a few times because, of course, we had the betas and then we got the launch product. But I wasn't anticipating to kind of have it be the same experience over and over again. And I found that once you get past this sort of stumbles and the bumbles and the laughs, about sinking your ship and trying to sort of protect it against the environments, there's a lot of repetition in the mission structure, and a lot of, you're seeing a lot of the same things when you bring back objects back to the outpost and you talk to the same types of characters. And man, what a missed opportunity to have these pirate creations not talk with you. I thought the NPCs in this game were such a drop ball. I just came off of Far Cry 5 where so much attention to detail was put on creating non-player characters that had a backstory, that were interesting, that were well-voiced and well-performed. And here you walk into a shop and the characters say pretty much exactly the same thing, even if their skin is a little bit different. They just do the same things over and over again, and nobody's saying anything. There's not an R to be heard anywhere, and I think that's ridiculous. There are some really big problems that I have with the way that this game has come together, because it feels like they just sort of thrust you. It's like a bunch of systems are in place and a lot of different cool mechanics are in place, but it's just like, you figure it out. Go ahead. Just try to work it out with your buddies and see if you can stay afloat and alive for a good long time and have a great time with this. Now, all that being said, once you do start to learn the mechanics and the systems and you've got a cohesive group of people that you're having fun with, it becomes ridiculously fun. And one of the ways that this game really crystallized for me is I played the game with Ben Silverman and Jose Sanchez. I played it with my friend David Chapman. So I got some great cooperative play. I also played with complete strangers and made some new friends, and I thought that was fantastic. But the most enjoyable way to play this game, I think, is with someone beside you. My daughter played with me, and to see her face light up when she discovered this for the first time was really something to behold, and it really left an impression on me, because this is one of those games that, yes, it's clumsy, and yes, it doesn't tell you anything, and yes, it's a little obtuse, but when you jump on that ship and you're sort of sailing across these waves that are just beautifully rendered and just gorgeously lit, and they feel like you have the weight of those waves on your ship, which is incredibly important. And you navigate through a storm or just deftly avoid a storm, and you see all of these incredible visual effects, and you feel like you're really there. and you know, there's beautiful sort of reflections of light across the bow of your ship, and off in the distance you might see cannon fire from an enemy ship that's approaching you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning to behold, and I just watched my daughter experience that for the first time, and it really struck me that this is one of those games that, you know, will appeal to gamers because they're going to find the minutiae and they're going to find the fun, even though you're, you know, off chasing gold or chickens or, you know, whatever, fighting skeletons and snakes over and over again. But even if you're not one of those hardcores out there, why I think this game is important is that this is an easy game to share and to pass a controller to anybody, to anyone that's, you know, addicted to match 3 games on their phone or something. If you hand them an Xbox controller and you put this on the screen, they're going to understand what to do, and they're going to be smiling and they're going to be laughing and they're going to be appreciative that you brought them in on this experience. And that's why this game is really, really cool, you know? And I've made some comparisons to this game with No Man's Sky, which shipped and was a little underwhelming with the amount of content that they shipped with, and there were a lot of promises made and just felt like it wasn't fully delivered on. And I feel that's where the similarities are with Sea of Thieves. It's not that Sea of Thieves doesn't have great systems and lots of stuff to see, and but it feels like there's a lot more to be poured into here, a lot more diversity and variety. And I suspect that that's what's going to happen because, as we all know, the launch you know, issues with this game meant that there were too many people playing it, so it's a hit. So presumably Rare is going to be dumping a ton of content into here, hopefully, and it will be supported and it will grow. And all of that base, you know, mechanic stuff is just going to hopefully blossom into all kinds of new opportunity, much like what we're seeing with No Man's Sky. And that's where the similarities are. It's not in content. It's not in, you know, vagaries or anything like that. It's a very accessible and very enjoyable game that is a treat to share, and it looks astoundingly beautiful if you have an Xbox One X. I've only played it on the Xbox One X, so I can't really say what it looks like on a traditional Xbox. I presume it will still look really, really good. Listen, I had a lot of fun with Sea of Thieves. It definitely isn't perfect. It definitely doesn't hit all of the notes that I wanted out of this game, but it has surprised me, and it is one that I think is better enjoyed not diving in for 8 hours at a time, although there's an addictive pull to just keep sailing and checking out and exploring. I feel like you drop in a couple hours here, you drop in a couple hours there, and take someone with you beside you and pass the controller around. You're going to be blown away by just the beautiful fidelity of this experience. I'm going to give Sea of Thieves a 7 out of 10.